Hey there, my fellow YouTubers. This is Cassandra72, and I want to welcome everyone to the video. And if there are any new subscribers, welcome to the channel. So, I am coming to you today with another update on my wellness journey with Mounjaro. This will be the week 30 update. Today is actually December the 17th, and I'm giving you the update on my week that ended on December the 12th, which is my 30-week update. And then we're also getting into midweek 31. Now, when I came to you last time on 1210, I was down so far that week, I was 313.8. And so I was down zero point 0.6 for the week so far. I ended the week actually at 313, which I took that weight on the 11th and not the 12th. I'm kind of hard pressed to determine when I should actually take the weight. If it should be the day before, if it's the day of, but I've kind of been sticking with the day of the shot. So in any event, this particular time, that was my weight on the 11th, which was actually Wednesday. So I ended the week with a 1.4 loss, which at that time brought my total weight loss to 48.6 pounds on the Zepbound and Mounjaro. So pretty happy with that. And that was a 10 milligram shot that I did take in my right thigh. And then I took shot number for week 31. I'm not sure what shot that is. It might have been actually shot number 32. But my shots are off a little bit at this point, due to the fact of me messing up the shot at the beginning, and then me actually, this is shot. That will be shot number 32, which I still think works out right. But yeah, I messed up a shot in the very beginning, and then I actually like doubled up on a shot 1 week. But anyway, I'm basically back to where it should be. So this is actually shot number 32 that I'm currently on, which is the, like I said, midweek update for week 31. And as of today, and I took that shot 10 milligrams in my left thigh. So far with these 10 milligram shots, I've taken it in the stomach, I've taken it in each of the thighs, and this next shot that I will be taking, I think I'm going to go ahead and take that one in my arm and see. I haven't done the arm maybe but once before, but I'm going to do that one in my arm just to see if I like it there or whatever. But yeah, so far as of today, I am at 311, which brings my total down to 50.6 on the Mounjaro, and I'm down 69.3 from my highest weight. So, I mean, I'm pretty freaking excited about that. Yeah, but I wonder if anybody else has any problems with their shot. See, you remember I said that I took the weight from 1211, and I ended up being down 1.4 for the week. But since I didn't take the weight on the 12th, I started that week at 314.4 and I ended at 313, so that's 1.4 pounds. But Shotzi has me at negative 0.9 pounds, so 0.9 pounds down. It says total change, but I'm not sure if anybody knows what this means. So it says total change is 0.9, but then I can press this and then it's just me like a line graph situation, and that says down 1.2. So I'm not sure. What that, I don't know what that is. And then it only happens on the weeks that I have taken the weight on Wednesday rather than Thursday. And then so far this week, I'm down 2 pounds, 313 to 311. On Friday, I was briefly up to 314. But anyway, I'm down to 311 today. But it has my weight down as 2.4 pounds. And then if I do the change, it says 1.7. So I'm not sure what that's about. But if anybody knows what the difference is between those total change numbers and why it would be skewed like that, I would be welcome to you letting me know why that is. And so, anyway, so yeah, sitting at 311 right now, which means, like I said, I'm a total of 50.6 pounds down. And according to the Lose It app, that means I got to another milestone, and it says the largest lobster ever caught was 50 pounds. And so I've now officially lost the weight of the largest lobster ever caught. So yeah, there we go with that. So, activity or exercise, still not doing the best we can. I can say with that, but I am definitely trying to make that a priority. I did work out on my stationary bike last night for 20 minutes and thinking I was doing something right. Um, which this is not a lot. It was a nice little easy pace. I was watching one of my not guilty pleasures, but one of the shows that I like right now is Fire Country, and I was watching that um on Paramount and not even really thinking about the time or anything. And then I was just like, okay, let's get to 20 minutes because I thought I had never done 20 minutes before. Yeah, I have. That is generally all I have. That's my whatever I've done the workout on the cycle. That's basically what I've done. Because I'm not used it a lot. It sits in my room all the time, but generally, you know how it is. It's basically a clothes rack, right? So, yeah. So I've worked out on it before, but um, well, back in 2023. How long ago it was. I'm looking at my fitness app on Apple. So yeah, I was doing like 15 minutes, but since I have been on the Mounjaro, it's pretty much been 20 minutes that I worked out on the thing. So yeah, 20 minutes. And then another back in September, I did like 19 minutes, 1 second. Um, yeah. So I pretty much, and it seemed like there was one other time. Um, I'm not sure when that was, but yeah, but one other seems like I had done 20 minutes another time as well. But in any event, yeah, so that's not the accomplishment I thought it was. So I need to get to like 25. But I will say that it was easy. It wasn't like I was struggling or anything. And I wasn't going to talk about non-scale victories just yet, but that was actually a non-scale victory because while it wasn't any longer than I have normally gone on the bike, it was definitely, like I said, not as strenuous, number one, but also it was a comfortable ride. Because I've always been larger than I should be for the bike, and I think I really still am. But whereas, because it's like one of those bikes that's it's a Fit Quest bike, and it's one of those ones that can be recumbent or you can do upright. And I've generally always done it as recumbent, but basically my hips were too wide for the bike, right? And so one thing that kept me from getting on it, other than sheer laziness, was the fact that the handlebars would cause friction. There was rubbing against my outer thigh, and it would be okay basically for the duration of one ride, but then it would cause like blisters that were not conducive to trying to get on it another day. You understand what I'm saying? So, because that would then really hurt. So I didn't have those issues. Um, I was actually able to get my hands in there and hold on to it a little bit as I was pedaling or whatever. So it was a quite comfortable ride. And yeah, I can see definitely getting on that and doing that. I don't have any excuse. I can really get on that and do that every day, really. So yes, I was quite happy with that. I mean, as I'm just sitting there watching TV, I mean, it was great. I loved it. So I will say again, let's circle back to the actual weight. Being at 311, which hopefully I did get down to 310.2 yesterday, which was Monday and Sunday. I was weighing in at 3.2, but 310.2. Um, and I hoped that I would be down even further today, but I can't complain. I would say in the way of side effects, there's always that slight constipation. And I forget, that I do have milk of magnesia right there in the house. So go ahead and take some of that. So I did take a little bit of that yesterday, and that, kind of started working its way immediately through. Nothing too terrible, just, um, but it did start working within an hour or so, I say. And then I also I keep forgetting that it, there's the things that help me, right? So I had ordered Colace as well, because going back to a few weeks ago when I still wouldn't call it severe constipation, but it was really to the point where it bothered me. And there's levels to it, right? I won't get too graphic, but it was like I really needed that Colace. And so I've been trying to remember that I'm trying to take it every day. Hopefully that's not too much. Um, but I do have a doctor's appointment scheduled for January, and hopefully I'll remember to, ask them about all these things. Like I said, hopefully it is okay. And maybe it's something I should only try to do if I'm severely constipated. But in any event, I did do the milk of magnesia. I took a Colace, and trying to get back regular with taking that Mounjaro. I'm at metformin, because I've been slacking off of the metformin a little bit. But so all those are working to um keep me a little bit regulated, I guess I'll say. So that's where we are with that. I do hope that, since it's still trending down, hopefully by Thursday, I will still be trending down, and at least be keep it at the 310, maybe 309, if I could possibly get there. That would be great. Which means that will put me at December the 20th. Yeah, that's December. No, no, no. Friday's the 20th, December 19th. That'll put us at the 19th, and still give another week that I have to get through, and maybe hopefully be down another couple pounds, which will pretty much put me at my um new updated goal to maybe be about 307 by the end of the year. And that would be freaking amazing. It would be amazing. Um, and then if I could hit that, maybe by the time my doctor's appointment rolls around, I'll actually then be at 300, because that's in another month and 4 days. The food suppression, I would say it's a 9 out of 10. I have, I'm getting back to the point where it's feeling like, okay, you waste the money if you're out there trying to order food, because I'll start to eat it, and it's like 2 bites in and I'm immediately full again. And I don't want to, get in the habit of saying I'm basically forcing myself to eat, because that's not necessarily a good thing, but you do have to try to make sure you're getting in, some type of nutrients or something. So, um, but yeah, the toddler stomach, as my daughter calls it, is back in full effect. So the 10 is tenning. The 10 is tenning. I don't really think I've had any food noise. Um, I did get really hungry yesterday about 4 o'clock, but shame on me. When I thought about it, I'm like, you haven't eaten anything today. So yeah, that's that was not a good thing. I think I had gotten in some water or what have you, but I had not done any physical food. So yeah, not even in the way of a snack. So that wasn't good at all. So yeah, that wasn't necessarily a good thing, but I also, like I said, don't really want to necessarily force myself to be eating when I'm not hungry. But yeah, it's definitely doing this thing. Okay, so um, and one of the things I'm proud of, like literally, I'm not telling you that everything that I have is the healthiest because I know that it's not. I have always stated that I don't want to be on any type of journey where I'm going to totally cut out things that I love. At least not from the standpoint of just losing weight. Now, if it comes down to health, that's a different thing. But for instance, but I know I'm never going to really stop enjoying sweets and things like that because that's just me. I have a little bit of a sweet tooth. But what does amaze me is that I can have these things around and I don't go through it like that. There was a time where, I would send my daughter to the store and we're getting her snacks and, her snacks, she have them till like the next day or something. Mine are gone within like 10 or 15 minutes. Now that's not the case. I'm sitting there eating off the stuff for days. Or that this particular instance, my coworker came around with some pretzel sticks today. She has three that we could choose from, and I chose this one. And as you can see, it's still sitting here. And I was like, well, I probably shouldn't choose either one of them, but I'm gonna choose that one. And then it's still sitting there. You know, normally that would have been gobbled on up or what have you. Also, people giving Christmas gifts. And my boss is here today, which she's not normally, and she has brought me and my daughter really this cute little tin full of these um what you call it, Oreo truffles, okay? And they're still sitting here. I haven't even had a one. I'm definitely taking them home, of course, to share with my daughter because my daughter does love those. And the card was addressed to our last name. And so I will be sharing those with her. And, but yeah, I have no desire to just like, delve into them like I normally would. So that is one good thing that it's like I could put away. I put it away. Matter of fact, let me put this in here. I could put it away and not even think about it. And that is one thing that I am loving that this medication is doing for me. And with that, that's pretty much it on the um, weight loss and suppression and that type of update. I will talk about the NSVs that I have experienced and am experiencing. And that has to do with, I mean, just the level of activity that I can do and not feel fatigued, shall we say. So I did end up, we know I come into work once a week, and I forgot to mention this last week, but I came in and I was extremely later than usual. And I ended up having to park where I'm supposed to park. I normally park, since I'm only here the one day a week. We have an employee parking lot that we're really supposed to park in, and it's not far, but it's a little bit too far that I want to walk, you know, laden down with bags, even though my bags aren't really that heavy. So if I had to, I could do it. At a heavier me. Mm-mm. So what I would normally do is I would come in, drop off my bags, then drop down, park, and walk back. But being that I'm only here the one day a week, I just park outside in visitors parking, and yeah, that's what I do. But it was that all the visitor spots were taken up by the time I got here last week, so I had to drop my bags off and then, walk down and come on back. And so, but I don't know the last time I've done that, but there was absolutely no fatigue there. So I'm like, what? Okay, come through with the stamina. and and then this past Saturday, I volunteered for a position in our holiday. We had our holiday parade for the city, and um I ultimately had to park here at the job and then walk up to where the volunteers had to check in, which might have been about half a mile. Um, and now on the way there, and I think it's because I was kind of just like rushing because I thought I was about to be late. I thought I had to check in at like 9 o'clock, and they said about 15 minutes. They wanted you to be about there 15 minutes earlier. Not that it was that big of a deal because the parade didn't start until 10. And so I still had plenty of time to get wherever I needed to be. But it turned out my check-in time went into 9:30. And maybe I knew that initially, but my thing was I knew they were going to start closing off roads at 7:30. And I knew that I wasn't going to get up, be over here quite that early. But initially I was just thinking get here by like 8:30. And then I tried to do that, and all the roads that I needed to try to get to where I needed to be, or so I thought, they were already closed off. It's like, man, I thought I had a route mapped out, but sadly, no. So I had to park here at the job, which I didn't volunteer last year because I think I was going to pick up my daughter from school at the time. But the year before, 2022, I think was the last time I had volunteered, and we had to do the same thing. It took forever for me to walk over there, I think. And definitely on the way back, every chair that I could stop at to rest, I did. This time, like I said, a little bit different. I think I stopped one time because I was just like, okay, I'm really rushing, and I'm like, okay, let me just sit here and chill. But I only sat down maybe a minute, 30 seconds maybe at best, really. I was not sitting there long, and then I was on my little way, and then I wasn't tired when I got to the check-in. It was just cold. And then where I was stationed at the parade, I actually ended up having to drive down there because that was like 2 miles. And so, yeah, I wasn't walking that far. I'm not there yet. So, but so I drove down there, but that did mean that I had to then walk back to my car to be able to drive down to where I needed to be. And on the way back, I absolutely did not stop at any of the benches that I could have stopped at. And I'm like, okay, yeah, definitely stamina is increasing a little bit. So I am loving that. Um, and then I'm still having fun playing around, shopping per se, or trying on stuff in my closet. So there was one dress I want to get into, and I'm in it. And I'm not the smallest that I've been the last time I wore the dress, but that dress is basically falling off now. And that has to do with partly weight loss, but partly just hanging in the closet for as long as it did. Something is happening where it's just it had like gathers in a sense, and it was like those kind of just pulled out on their own. It's like the elastic has gone bad in it or something. I'm not a seamstress. But so it definitely was going to fit looser anyway. But then even the straps, now the straps didn't have any type of elastic in it, I don't think, but they really, it's just like the dress is just, it would just literally fall off my shoulders. So I think that I'm going to have to uh that's something that I was looking forward to getting back into. But unless I do some type of alterations, I'm not going to be able to wear that dress because it's really just about to fall off right now. But yeah, getting back into stuff that you couldn't get into, or it's that's a pretty freaking amazing feeling. And one of my sundresses that I love the most, and I didn't realize it was a 2X because it was a loose fitting dress to start with. But you're getting into that and then having so much room. Um, other little sundresses that they're three X's basically, but getting into them and just like, wait a minute, this is like a whole lot of room going on in here. Like, what? So I cannot wait for spring, summer. So I'm pretty sure I'll be wanting to update the wardrobe a little bit, but yeah, those were dresses I bought back when it's been like, was it 2015? It's been some years. It's been some years. So yeah, I want to say like maybe 2015, 2016 is when I was wearing those. I have to look back and see, but that's when I was, trying to get into the gym and working out, or maybe even just feeling like, hey, no matter what your weight, hey, you can still be cute. But yeah, but I couldn't, I'm pretty sure some of them I probably still could wear, but I just hadn't had them on. I mean, to be quite honest with you, when the pandemic rolled around in 2020, and then working home most of the time, it's like I don't really have a reason to. I guess you could say the reason would be yourself, but I just didn't have a reason to even try them on, so they just been in the closet. But putting them on and seeing, oh yeah, your girl finna be cute this, your girl is finna be cute this summer, so I cannot wait. So that's been fun. Um, and then kind of, so that's what I meant to do, going in the closet looking like, okay, can you wear such and such and such? Now, inadvertently, I do have to make some family Christmas shirts for my brother's family for Christmas because they don't have any matching pajamas this time, but he wants them to at least have matching shirts. So I'll be making them some shirts. And then I thought about, I really could, throw my daughter and me up in there. Everybody got the same last name. But I was wanting to do something different for us, and I'm doing vinyl for their shirts, and I kind of want to sublimate ours. And so I'm trying to figure out buying stuff like that, sublimation shirts. It's better to buy in bulk, but I only need two. um, and I'm thinking I need a 2X for myself because that's pretty much what I'm in on everything. Oh, that was another non-scale victory. The parade shirt. We get a shirt whenever we volunteer here at the job, and I went ahead. I think I volunteered back in October, maybe even before. I don't know. But whenever I signed up to volunteer, I was like, oh, yeah, by then I'll be in a 2X. That is what I was in. And I was able to put that on top of a shirt, which it was only a little thin short sleeve shirt, but still, I was able to put that on. And then when I got home and took off the other shirt and really was able to wear the shirt as intended, I'm like, I am truly in this shirt with some room. I am like, what? I might could have even done a 1X. um, that might be a little bit reaching, but but I was in the 2X shirt and happy, happy, happy about that. So yeah. But yeah, an inadvertent try on was me trying to see, do I have any actual sublimation shirts here anyway in my size? Because it looks like I probably could find one at Michael's or Joann's for my daughter, but for me, like, okay, where can I find these shirts at for a size 2X? And so then I said, you know what? I think I might have a couple, and I did, and they were the Cricut infusible ink shirts, and there are 3X now, but they're 3X ladies, and I always think those shirts ran even smaller than other sizes, and so I don't even remember purchasing them. Maybe one, but I had a white one and I had a gray one. And I was able to get into both of them. Now, surprisingly, the white, it was very fitted, and I would wear it if necessary, if I had to. It's just basically for Christmas. But it fit. It was not too constricting or anything, but it was definitely a fit. And I'm like, okay, but once upon a time, I would not have been able to put it on. And then the gray one, um, which is surprises me, that one actually fit better. They're both 3X. So I'm like, I won't be wearing either one of those though, I think. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that I could get into both of them, and though snug, they weren't tight. So if I needed to, I could be comfortable, opening presents and stuff in them if I chose to use them. Which, like I said, I don't think I will. I might just opt to do us some vinyl shirts as well. So yeah, there we are with that. That's pretty much my update. And guess what I should have done also? Because I'm just loving, I'm not anywhere near where I definitely want to end up being. And I'm definitely not, small by any person's standards. But to be able to see the difference. Sorry about that. I thought that my alarm went off on my phone and I thought that I stopped recording. But anyway, as I was saying, not small by any stretch of the imagination, not anywhere where I want to be, even though I pretty much haven't determined what I want my goal to be. I do think I want to toy around with being in Wonderland. Where in Wonderland, I don't know. But right now, I'm listing a long-term goal of 225. Now I'm 5'3", but and I don't want to be delusional about that, and I would still be obese at that category. But I just remember thinking that now, granted, that's put me back at where I was during college days, and some of those steps in some of those buildings were a chore even back on 20-year-old me. So of course I probably want to really be smaller than that, if I'm being honest. But I just know that I probably could be happy hanging out at that weight because of the fact that at least back then I don't think I looked like what I was supposed to look like at 5'3" and like 220 pounds because quick story time, when I graduated they took our measurements, and I think they took the measurements for our height, and then they just asked us our weight, and I told them, and I think I probably feel by about 20 pounds or so. And then you know then they, I guess, placed the order for the cap and gowns or whatever. And then when mine came, I could fit at least two, maybe three of me in the thing. And I was just like, okay, well, gowns aren't supposed to be, form fitting or anything like that, so no biggie. But then it was super long. But it wasn't like down to the floor. It literally probably came to my ankles. And I'm like, I have a little bit of a heel on. No big deal. But when I tell you the sleeves hung off my hands this long. So literally I would have had to been like this the whole time. And I'm like walking in maybe, but as you're, I don't know, sitting there with the things just did too much fabric. I'm like, nah. I went on back to the bookstore and did an exchange and got a smaller size. I'm like, who they thought was supposed to fit this thing? I just don't know. So I think it's proportional a little bit differently on me. I don't go by the big boned philosophy because I think arm bones pretty much the same size for everybody. But I just do feel like it's just, I don't know, stuff is proportional a little bit differently on me. And but we will see when I get there, because I think I remember even thinking at the time, like I said, I've always thought I was like huge, even when I wasn't really that big. Um, Even back in high school, yes, definitely still on the thicker side at like 190. But when I sit back and I look at the pictures, it looked different. But anyway, so I'm like, if I could just be that fat again. So maybe that's the goal, at least like 190. We will see. And like I said, that would still put me in the obese category, but I would have lost like what one if I get to 190, that's what from 360, that's like 170, 172 pounds. That's a whole other person, child. And then some. But anyway, I am, though. I know that I could be happier that way because I'm pretty happy the way I'm looking right now. Because I'm just gonna show you my little outfit for the day. Um, I just have on a one of my Izzy and Liv shirts that I thought is so super cute. It says Inner Peace Seeker, and then some pants that I have from Shein, and they're just really nice flow. I thought they were like sweatpant material. They're really like wide legged and really comfortable, and I really love that. But as I stand up, you can see, you know, curves starting to come back, and I'm happy about that. So, which let me also just say that could be, yeah, I'm losing the weight, true indeed. And right now, I think I did a little calculation, and I think I'm down. I think it was 6.4 pounds so far on this 10 milligram of Mounjaro. Um, which the most I ever lost was back on 2.5, surprisingly. I think 9.7 pounds was what I lost the second week. First week was like 7.9, something like that. And then I've consistently lost 5 and 6 pounds on like the 5 and the 7.5. But so far I'm on track with, to losing um probably close to 7 pounds by the time it's all said and done on this box of the 10. So that's actually pretty good. Still not the biggest loss that people are seeing, but slow and steady wins the race, does it not? And I'm kind of happy with that because, yeah, it's looking like I'm losing at a rate, according to the My Weight app, of 1.66 pounds a week, which is an average of 0.24 pounds a day. So, still just right at that 1.5+ pound a week. I'm happy about that. I'm good with that. I am okay with that. Um, but whereas I was saying that maybe the weight is not coming off the fastest in the world, I think the inches are still doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that's probably partly because of the other supplements and peptides that I'm taking, because I am still doing the Lipo B and the Lipo C every other day. I am now into my 5th week, I believe, of the AM shred, and I have completed 1 week of the PM shred. Um, into the second day this week of the AM shred, and of course tonight will be my second dose of the PM because it is Tuesday, and that's a 5-day on, 2-day off situation, and I take that Monday through Friday. So, I've only been on the PM shred for a week. So I did do the Me 360 situation to kind of try to chronicle that, which put me. It's looking like I'm up from the last time I did the Me 360, but of course that's probably not an exact science. And I did not. Did I do my fist? I'm trying to think. Did I do my actual measurements with my actual tape? I can't remember right offhand, but those are the measurements that I really would rely on more so to determine the actual, I guess, number of inches or whatever that I've lost. But it did look like I was up a little bit, but I still feel like overall the AM shred has done this what it's supposed to do, and we'll see what the PM shred is doing, because I really feel like the inches are inching away as well. So yeah, that's where we are. All right, you guys, if you have any questions or comments, do not hesitate to leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And as always, until the next video, peace and blessings. Bye now.